quite a few people have been asking me exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I just thought I'd do a little video to explain a bit about what's happened this year and what's in the last year now, and what's inspired me to take on possibly one of the most challenging events I've ever taken on. So I'd appreciate if you keep watching. So back in June, little boy Harry, 7 years old now, was 6 at the time, had a bit of a freak accident here at home during the lockdown situation, which escalated pretty quickly. Thankfully, Becca thought very fast. She got hold of an ambulance. Ambulance came, whizzed Harry to the Victoria Hospital in Blackpool. When they saw him, they said, look, this is too risky an operation for them to attempt. So thankfully, and we're really appreciative and grateful for this, that they actually got him over to Alder Hey Childrens Hospital in Liverpool straight away. Blue lighted him and Becca in an ambulance on Thursday night it was. They got a consultant in and they performed an emergency operation around midnight on that Thursday night for around 3 hours to repair the damage that Harry had done due to this freak accident. Thankfully, they were happy with how the operation went. Harry was left with a stoma for what turned out to be about 5 months, but recently he's been back in Alder Hey and he's had the reversal operation, a successful reversal operation on the stoma, which has meant that now he's pretty much back to where he was pre the accident back in June. And I can't say enough about how grateful we are to the staff at Alder Hey, especially during the COVID situation and times that we're in. It was pretty challenging because only one parent was allowed in the hospital at the time. So for example, if I wanted to go over and see Harry, Becca would have to leave. She'd come and sit in the car park or go and do something with Charlie, while I went upstairs and spent up into the ward and spent a few minutes, half an hour or so each time with Harry. Whilst I was in the ward at Alder Hey, we were very, very fortunate that we were only in for a short time, a week for the initial operation, then just under a week after the second operation. But we met many families and children that were in there for much longer, and speaking with those families, speaking with the staff at the hospital, we kind of understood or learnt about the challenges they're having, how hard it must be, especially during these challenging times, to have a family member and a child especially in hospital in a situation like this for a long period of time. Fundraising for these charities, because the Alder Hey Children's Charity does rely a lot on fundraising to provide things for the children whilst they're in there and to make life better for them and for their families during probably some stressful times in their lives, and there's going to be months, weeks, months and years for some families, some children spent within these wards, within this hospital over in Liverpool and many other children's hospitals across the country. So whilst I was there, obviously very emotional and what had happened with Harry, it was pulling at my heartstrings anyway. I decided to try and raise some money for the charities. So my idea was to do something that would totally take me out of my comfort zone and put me somewhere I've never been before. So I've decided to enter a full iron distance triathlon. Now, for anyone that knows me, yes, I'm a trier. I like to try and run, I like to cycle, and yeah, I used to do a bit of swimming when I was younger, but nothing to the extent of this challenge. So a full iron distance triathlon. The one I'm doing is called the Lakesman, and it's going to be in June, on June the 20th. Happens to be Father's Day, it's the Sunday, so I think that's quite nice. But a full iron distance triathlon is a 2.4 mile swim, then a 112 mile bike, and then a full marathon, all in the same day. Now, I have 3 years ago tried a half Ironman, a half distance event with not much training, and I'm not going to lie to you, it was probably the toughest thing I've ever done, and I panicked, I struggled with it, and I got an injury during it and thought, well, I won't be doing one of them again. Instead of just doing one of them again, I'm now doing double the distance. So it is a step up. It's taken me massively out of my comfort zone. The swimming Obviously we're in lockdown, I'm not getting any swimming done at the minute, but pre-lockdown I was able to get a bit of swimming done. I haven't done much lake swimming, and I'm hoping to get certainly into a lake as soon as the temperature increases, but back in the swimming pool as soon as they open. Huge thanks to Ribby Hall. Mark Leach at Ribby Hall has helped me out with that, and fingers crossed we'll be able to get swimming again very soon. The cycling, I cycle with Team Windmill, but I'm a kind of come and go cyclist. Paul Beverley's done a lot of work with me, Stephen Beverley, Chris Morris, Dawn, Barbara Holmes, lovely people, you know, that have inspired me in their own right to take on the challenges that I'm doing. Barbara is a world champion in her age group at triathalon as well, and I'm very fortunate she lives local to us and I get to train with her. But they know that in the cycling world, yeah, I'll go and give it a try, but I've not really put the time or effort in the past to really push on. I've only ever done 100 miles once. It was the Birmingham Velo 100, and I got off the bike and couldn't walk for a week, so the thought of doing a 112 mile bike and then getting off the bike, putting my trainers on and running a marathon is just, it's mind blowing really. That's the challenge that I've got ahead. And when it comes to running, I can't run, I'm a rubbish runner. So I've struggled with plantar fasciitis. 3 months ago I couldn't even walk, never mind run. But I spent a bit of time with David Byrne, a great physio who's educated me a bit about running. I'm also reading some fantastic literature. And Chris McDougall's Born to Run really been helpful. Books like that kind of you learn a bit about running technique. Running isn't just get up and put your trainers on, it's the stretching beforehand, it's the work you do on your body beforehand, it's the afterwards, it's the preparation, the strength work, and I'm very grateful, I'm learning so much about it. I'm reading triathlon magazines, I've got Dom Fink's Iron Fit books, I'm researching all the time on the internet and listening to a lot of audio books. I'm learning about breathing, Wim Hof methods on how to breathe more efficiently to get more oxygen into the body. So as you can see, I'm taking it more serious, but it's a serious challenge, and that run, getting off a bike and running for probably 5 hours is not going to be much fun at all. I've been out and done a training run today. I'm running with a couple of pals. Obviously again it's challenging due to the current guidelines and restrictions, but going out and running with somebody and chatting whilst running, keeping my heart rate low, aerobic endurance and developing that seems to be pretty important, to the point that, like I said, 3 months ago I couldn't run. A month ago I was running 5 to 10 Ks. This morning I've done a 15k run, 1.5 hour training at around 6 minutes per kilometres, keeping my heart rate to 130 to 140. Now if any of you understand much about fitness, that's pretty much the zone I need to be training in, and gradually, with only 21 weeks to go now, I feel like I'm getting some good work done. I have been out on the bike, spending a bit of time on this on the turbo trailer using Zwift, great platform to keep me entertained and certainly take your mind off. For example, yesterday was a 2-hour spin session on my turbo. You know, it's a horrible, miserable thing to do, but I know putting the hours in now and doing the work on that base fitness now should benefit me, or certainly give me a chance of getting across that line. Like I said, I am doing it to raise money for Alder Hey Childrens Charities, and we have got a Just Giving page set up. My initial target was to raise around about £2,000. We've smashed that. We're already up to nearly £3,000, so I'm very grateful and really appreciate anyone that's already donated. There is a link, I will put the link below, so if you do fancy donating, I know it's challenging times and I do appreciate that money isn't easy at the moment, but if you could just spare £5 or so just to help me push towards as big a figure as we can get, it'd be great to get near that £5,000 or even £10,000 for the charity by the time I do the event. I would really appreciate it. Such a worthwhile cause, and me sitting on that bike in the garage for 2 hours, or going out and running in the rain for an hour and a half, in the back of my mind I know why I'm doing it. You know, there's something motivating me. I've always lacked a bit of a challenge, but this is something that's going to be massively out of my comfort zone, and just, I'm not sure if any of you have had children that have had an injury or been in hospital, spent any time in hospital, whether it's just for, you know, an x-ray or anything. Well, you feel so helpless, you're out of control, and I'm, again, for those who know me, I'm pretty much a control freak, and for Harry's 3-hour operation, I just didn't know what to do with myself. He is in their hands, and thankfully we have got a phenomenal NHS, and we're very lucky to have, certainly at Alder Hey Hospital, some of the best children's surgeons in the world. Without that, we dread to think what could have possibly happened just from nowhere. It's a freak accident that just caused it to elevate to where we got to. Even the second operation, the reversal operation that Harry had on his stoma, again, another 3 hour operation. Becca dealt with it brilliantly. She's such a strong woman. For me, shows you, to show you how things can get you, really. Just a little bit about Harry. He's dealt with it phenomenally well. His resilience has been superb, and we are so proud of him. Harry's dealt with it so well. Children are having a tough time at the minute, not able to spend time with their friends, not able to do normal things. We're homeschooling Harry, and you throw in a drama or trauma like that, and just seeing how at 6-year-old at the time, how he could deal with it, again, it just kind of helps you realise they're resilient children, and Harry's really come through and shown us some bravery and strength that we never knew, we never even believed he would have. Prior to this situation, he wouldn't even let you put a plaster on his arm if he'd cut himself without screaming and shouting about it. So to see him dealing with literally an external bowel fitted to him, and dealing with it so well, getting involved with his football and his golf and playing with his pals was brilliant. And now that's gone, he feels like a different boy again, and we're really looking forward to him, hopefully when things change, for him to get back into football and start his normal day-to-day activities as he was pre this situation. We've had so much support from family and friends. My parents have been brilliant, same with Becca's mum as well, and all our friends have been so supportive. Harry's football team have been superb with him, the coaches have been phenomenal, and we can't thank you all enough for the support you've shown. For me, it's time for me to do something, give something back. I am trying. I'm going to do what I can to get across that finish line. Back in June, the event itself is called the Lakesman. If you have a little look at it online, it is a challenge. It's based at Keswick in the Lake District. The swim is in Derwentwater. It's quite a cold lake. I've had a little dip in it already. 2.4 mile swim. Get out of the lake, get onto the bike, cycle over to the west coast, cycle up and down the coastline, which is beautiful, up to Stilith, back across inland over the hills, gets a little bit lumpy, back into Keswick, take the cycling shoes off, put the trainers on, and then running a marathon, which is about a 5-lap loop of Keswick town centre, I believe. Sounds like we're going to have a few pals up watching, family and friends supporting, so that should be good. My target would be to complete the whole event in around about 15 hours. You get 17 hours to do it. I'm aiming for 15 hours. Anything better than that is a bonus. The way the training's going, I feel like I should be able to complete it, but we'll always see. You never know how you're going to do on the run in an Ironman, apparently, until you start the run. So you can't really plan for that. I mentioned I've had a few issues with my feet. I've had a bit of plantar fasciitis. I've lost a toenail last week, and I think I'm going to lose another one this week after today's run. So it presents its own little challenges, but that's my battle, and for me to try this and do something to give back, certainly to such a worthwhile cause, I think it's only right, really. So first of all, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it is a bit out of the norm for this channel. Dan Webster Golf, Dan Webster's not doing golf here at all. I haven't even mentioned golf. However, one thing I will be doing is some fundraising. I'm hoping to do a golf fundraising event here once we get back open, so keep your eyes out for that. That's about all from me. Thanks, really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and let me explain to you exactly why I'm doing it and what the inspiration and motivation is behind the challenge. If you do want to follow me, I've got an Instagram page, Dan Webster Golf. I've also got Twitter and Facebook, but I've also set up a normal man to Ironman Instagram feed as well. So I class myself as a normal bloke. Some might say different, I'm not that normal, but yeah, I was sat in the sea last week trying to acclimatise my body. And it's quite a bold statement. Another pal of mine says, no man to Ironman. You're putting a bit of pressure on yourself there because you haven't done it yet, but I like to do that. I like to kind of push myself to see if I can make that challenge. Anyway, enough of the waffle. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you taking the time to do that so today, and take care. Hope you enjoy the journey. See you soon.